Yeah, Jeremiah, man, Jeremiah was a funny dude, man. Jeremiah was a real funny dude.
Was there any riots going on while you was in prison?
Yes, that was one or two.
Did you encounter any crooked correctional officers there?
Quite a few of them.
What about gangs?
Out of that.
While you was in prison, did you see any stabbings?
Yeah, quite a bit of it.
So we've been talking about this for a couple months. When we finally sat down to get this long form documentary together. How you feeling today? We got the street legend himself, Jeremiah Adams. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good. About you?
Man, good. I want to give a little bit of background on you and, tell the world, for the people who don't know, of course, this is my pops, but for the people who don't know you, let them know your background and where you come from.
Well, I come out of Mobile Terrace. I grew up in Mobile Terrace, as well as Hillsdale Heights. I was on both sides of the streets of those neighborhoods. I didn't come up as a troubled child or anything of that nature. Just doing normal teenage things as a kid, coming along, just following your equal, and my equals no longer teach me anything, so I grew them by dealing with older individuals.
So I want to go back to when, tell me about the story on how you was conceived. Remember when you was telling me about the train when you mother went to New York?
Oh yes.
So first of all, you never met your dad, right?
Right.
Which is my granddad.
Exactly.
All right, go ahead.
What was plentiful there in New York, my grandmother, from my understanding, did housework up there, and my mother was with 4 kids, my 4 oldest siblings during that particular time. And my grandmother was telling her to go to New York. Well, that was what was plentiful. And her and a lady friend of hers by the name of Woody, they went to New York. And that's where she met my dad. And from there, she became pregnant. And by the way, my dad's name Thomas Petway. Like I said, I never met him, just had a picture of him.
Yeah, he said he was from Connecticut.
He's from Connecticut, from my understanding. He moved to Connecticut, but we want to think that he was from down here somewhere, where I can't say. But from what I gather, he moved there. I don't think he was from there. Mm-hmm. I think from Mobile, somebody in Mobile. That's where he made his home in Connecticut. Like I said, my mother was working there at some place or another in New York. And New York and Connecticut right down the street from one another,
So I want to know and tell the world when you got to prison, like, first of all, I know you said, what was your offenses, first of all, to lead you to go into prison?
Crack cocaine. I started using crack cocaine and got a distribution, which is a sale to the undercover agent.
Okay.
And like I had 2 of those, and it cost me to receive 15 years.
And how many times you say you've been in prison?
I've been in prison 5 times, and total number, I did about 13 and a half years off and on.
What was your
4 here, 5 there.
What was the age that you can remember when you first started going to prison?
Oh, I think I was in my early 20s when I first went to prison.
Mm-hmm.
And
so on that prison bus going to prison, so I know they had y'all shackled.
yes, funny you said that. You was belly chain as well. You had a chain around your waist, down to your ankles, up to your wrists, as well as handcuffed to another individual. It was something. a bad wreck would occurred. You know, it's really sad to say, but a lot of people probably wouldn't have made it if anybody would have made it. And following their leads, wanted to know more about life itself, so I stepped out of my equal, which caused me a lot of trials and tribulation, as well as it helped me along the way as well. Trying things in life such as alcohol, reefer, cocaine, which led me to be placed in prison. My calculation, I think I've been to prison about 5 times. You know, I think I started going to prison in 1989 due to my drug of choice, which was cocaine, crack cocaine rather. So on a journey of that life off and on, from 89 up into the year of 2013. And I went, that was the last time I went to prison in 2013. I was done with everything, cigarettes, crack, reefer, never did any pills or anything. Came home in 2016, September the 6th, if I'm correct. And it's been uphill ever since, you know, no relapse, no nothing, just blessings from one street to the next. I also I turned around there and went to a couple of homeless shelters to speak. The guys, well, I also went to the youth center and spoke, give my story as well, you know, to.
I met old Deuce back in 2002, 2003, you know what I'm saying? Fast forward that though, to prison. I headed to where I would come through the back gate at Loxley Work Relief around 2008, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I head there, you know what I'm saying? I get in all white, you know what I'm saying? I realized Deuce was there. He came through, him and a couple more guys out the prize, off my side, you know, or whatever. Came through, hollered at me, you know what I'm saying? Deuce kept me good, whatever. He kept telling me, hey, you gonna get over here, you gonna give him a couple days. So they moved me, fast forward, they moved me to work relief. I get over there to work relief, I'm chilling, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey man, I need a job. Deuce went, hollered at the lieutenant. Came back, I had an appointment the next day to go in there. I get a job at car deal process, so now I'm making money. Boom, I mess around and buy me a phone. Get the phone, Deuce kept telling me, hey man, your phone, get you messed up. So I was like, man, don't trip, man, you know. So I get jammed up one night, they count or whatever, and started walk past, one of the officers walked past my rat count, and I was talking to something. He was like, what you doing? I was telling somebody, hold on. And so he was like, hey, what you doing? Who you talking to? I was like, nobody, I was praying. He was like, bullshit. Told me to get off my bed, surfing, grab a pillow, phone, fall like a pillow, boom. Take me up there, write me up, you know what I'm saying? I come back, you know what I'm saying? Hey, next day I wake up and do some man, folk woke me up, call me with the phone. You told me, I told you about that phone, man. Wait later on tonight, I'll do something for I got parole in 2 weeks, man. I don't know what's finna happen. So he was like, man, I got you, just chill. Later on that night, when they counted, count clear, he went up there, hollered at Sergeant Daly. I don't know what he told in the office. He was sitting down chopping up with the lady in the office. He went all the way up top. He went all the way up top and went in the shift command office and talked to the lady, sat down, him and her. No lie. Came back with all 4 copies of the disciplinary, told me, hey, what you got in your box? I said, I got about $60. He was like, give it to me. He was like, you gonna pay for this disciplinary? Goddamn, she wanted $100. I just put the rent with it. I was like, all right, cool. So he gave me all 4 copies. He was like, before he released me, he said, you go back there by yourself and you set these on fire. So I went back there, set them on fire, you know what I'm saying? And boom, that was that. Came up parole, made parole, you know what I'm saying? One thing I say about Deuce, man, that man always kept his head up. He always kept a smile on his face no matter what he was going through. I ain't never seen him down, you know what I'm saying? He's a firm believer of God, and he loved his children, and his children loved him. Like, one thing they never did was gave up on each other in life, you know what I'm saying? And right now today, I used to see Deuce when I was standing to see him. Man, I'm proud of you, man. Every time I see him, man, you looking good, man. You looking good for yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? He was even trying to get me on that Gulf Lumber down there, you know. But yeah, Deuce one of the real ones for real.
So tell me some of your fondest memories in prison, like any kind of fights or people like the jank. What really goes on day to day behind them prison walls?
Well, quite a bit goes on behind the prison walls. People, they laughing and janking. I was one of the ones I used to love to jank. You know, that was one of my main things. I love to walk around and tease people, you know. But a lot of old fools that went on, you know, people's fake fighting, you know, it did a lot of talking. There wasn't no physical thing going on, you know, but pretty much everybody trying to come home, man, you know, get back to their loved ones, you know, that they had neglected so many times before, such as myself, you know. But just like I said, to be in prison, you know, it wasn't all good and wasn't all bad either, you know. A lot of stories be told that it was all this, bad, you know. I have no regrets about prison, you know. I have no regrets about, you know, my drug use, because the drug use is what is prison term, you know, caused me to become the man that I am now, you know. So I have no regrets about my history, past history at all.
So when you go to, when you make it home, like to work releases, and you know, the guards, they'll say, "Oh, you'll be back." Like, what you think about that when they tell you that?
It's funny you said that. I recall this last time I went to prison. You go through Kilbury, the first place you go through, called quarantine, and I had been seeing these officers for every time I go, I would see them. And this last time in 2013 that I hit the back gates of Kilbury, when I made on the inside, it was this officer, he used to be a slender guy, but he had picked up quite a bit of weight and lost the top of his hair and everything. He saw me from afar off at the end of the line. He just like glanced over there and looked at me, you know. When I got before him to sign my paperwork, he said, "Man, you ain't tired?" He said, "Are you really not tired?" You know, he said, I really made me feel kind of small for him to recall me and know just who I was. He said, "Man, I'm tired for you," you know. So that really was an eye-opener there as well for myself. You know, he said, "I'm about to retire completely and I'm getting paid." He said, "But you're not getting paid and you just won't retire this thing," you know. He said, "It's sad to see us coming backwards and forward at a revolving door into this prison system," you know. He said, "Y'all keeping us with a job," you know. But yeah, it was something.
Just say y'all coming down the road on the bus. When you first see that prison yard and those fences and that prison tower, what went through your mind for the first time?
Well, actually, I hadn't been told about prison, oh man, so many times, and there are a lot of older individuals telling me that I was going if I didn't put down what I was doing, you know. And from the looks of things, I wasn't going to put down what I was doing. So they gave me the rules and regulations to what I was going to be up against when I got there. So when I got there, then I got all the day there. You know, so it was a new place, but everything ever just set up for me because I was told about it. So it was like smooth setting for me, you know. A lot of people was already there that I grew up with, you know, so it's like that, you know. But like I said, it's no place to be, you know.
So your first encounter, you get there, did anyone try you? Did you have any fights in there?
No, never had a fight. I was just a laid back guy, you know. I heard and I didn't hear, you know, so that helped me along the way, man, you know, like I said, but overall, it was God himself, you know, because I could easily got stabbed, you sleep, fight break out, people trying to get away from someone trying to stab them, you know, you could easily get stabbed because I'm going to run past your record, run through your record, over you trying to get away, you know what I mean, and you could get stabbed, you know, in your sleep, you know, it's just God, you know, God just, you know, he kept me protected at all times, you know. I think I might have had one argument, you know, that I pretty much put myself in, you know, someone speaking things, you know, talking to me, but through someone else, but I know you're talking about me.
Exactly. So,
You know, so
anybody, you know what I'm saying, try to go in your rack, like take your commissary
no,
behind your back or anything,
no,
try to sneak something?
None of that at all. You know, I've seen a lot of that taking place though. I've seen guys get their box broken in and things of that nature, you know, but I never had anything like that take place with me. You know, like I said, I was pretty much, I was known, you know, to the guy that was already there at the prison, you know. So, like I said, I was just laid back. I went by no trouble, you know. Just did my thing, you know, and stayed out the way.
So how did you feel, you know, due to you having 2 kids, young, and leaving them behind, going to prison? Tell the people, how did you feel? How did that make you feel?
Oh man, I was really humiliated within self due to me and into time that you are controlled by something, you become a slave to it. And I had became a slave to crack cocaine numerous of times, which caused me to neglect my kids. I was being an addict at this particular time, trying to find a way, trying to understand how did I get here to such of a narcotic, you know, leaving my kids, you know, quite a few times, but just tied in on these drugs, you know, wouldn't allow me to focus in and be the individual that I knew I could be, coming in and out of their lives, you know, having somewhat of a relationship with them, you know, with my kids. They could easily call me something else, but they acknowledge me as dad, you know. My son asked me once, he said, what I need to do. I said, about what? He said, about this that you're going through, you know. He said, you ought to be tired, you know. I just need to know what I need to do, you know. And that was really touching to me, that he wants to find out what can he do about something that he don't understand, you know. And I was like telling him, I think, well, I'm right there, my grandmama property right there on H Street when he asked me that. And I'm like, man, it's just something I got to go through. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Just pray on it, you know what I mean? But when a person just really want their dad, you know what I mean? That's all this guy wanted. He just wanted his dad, you know what I mean? Someone to be in his life, you know, that can correct him, you know, and give him advice on things and that nature. You know, I wasn't there to do so, you know, but I know it was a great disturbance toward him, you know, because he came up without me, you know, he had to be his own man. He had to be his own dad in so many words, you know what I mean? And my daughter as well, I spoke with her one time. I was out and we were going to talk, and I said, I love you. And I said, did you hear me? She didn't hear what you said. I said, I love you. She said, well, ain't no sense in telling you that I love you when you're gonna turn around and do the same thing. She said, I get my hooks off in you and then you leave again. You know, ain't no sense in me hyping myself up when you're gonna leave again. You know, so like quite a few things said that stayed with me to help me along my journey to get this thing right, you know. But God answered prayers with you not knowing that He's going to answer these prayers. But you got to know that He will. It's going to be on His terms. You know, He done just that for me. You know, I tell you, I'm just overwhelmed for the blessing that was stored upon me, and allowed me to keep my relationship with my son and my daughter as well as my grandkids. You know, when I left here, I met my first granddaughter. I think I was in the work league. She was there. Well, I think she was 3 or 4 years old, Jeremy. Somewhere along there, until a year. I was on pass, and it's sad that I had to meet her on those terms, but I was incarcerated when I met her. I came on pass, you know. My second granddaughter as well. My daughter asked her, "You remember your granddad?" She said, "I remember." I said, "Well, my granddad," you know. But it was just a blessing, you know, to still have the love and the respect, because there are daughters as well as sons. They are respect. respect their dad as mine respect me, and they was doing the same thing that I was doing, you know. But I just wanted out so bad because I knew that was a better me than I was giving, you know. But I just wanted the best for everyone, the kids, grandkids, as well as myself. It didn't happen without God, I can tell you that much. It just didn't happen. It was all Him. You know?
Tell me a little bit about what you think about how prisons are now.
Well, my last encounter, like I say, I got out in 16, but right before I got out, they got a hands-off policy now, meaning hands-off inmates. And there's no more respect there in prison because officers can't correct the inmates due to lawsuits and things of that nature, you know. But it's so much is going on. People, young guys are like, they're already at home now because they have cell phones. They're making videos, you know. They're not in a rush to come home. They're just in a rush for their family to send them something so they can live this prison life like it's fun. There's nothing fun about it. We told the guys got 50, 60, 70 years, some got life sentences, you know. And they're walking around and running around playing if though they're getting out tomorrow, you know. And it's not possible that it's going to happen that way, you know. Don't take prison serious no more. They really don't. Just don't take it serious. It used to be a serious place to be, and you focus on going home, you know, but these guys focus on staying, you know. The cell phones, ridiculous what they want for a cell phone as well as a charge, you know. Cell phone is worth to $1,000, if not more, you know. Charger, $600-700, if not more. You know, like I say, the rules change every day in prison, you know. So ain't no telling how much they are now, you know.
Yeah,
but
so
it was that price at that particular time when I was there coming home.
So the guards, the correction officers or whatever you call them, they help get stuff in
Yes, yeah. You don't have no stand-up officers no more as you once did, you know. It's all about surviving, you know. Sad part about it that you would chance placing yourself in the same predicament that you are bringing things to this person, you know. And it's just really sad, you know. It's just another thing, you know. It's just another thing. All right, tell you, man. Yes, I also want to mention my kid's mother, Shirley Richardson, Shirley Page. I left her holding the bag, you know, with both kids. It was a struggle for her. If she felt any type of way, she had a reason to feel that way due to what I allowed, you know, as a teenager, you know, just trying things and got caught up. But I left her holding the bag, and she did a brilliant job to the best of her ability, you know, and I tipped my hat to her, you know. I'm sure she was wondering why, you know, how is this possible? Why you keep going back in and out of prison? These children need you, you know. I need help with them, you know. She had to turn to her grandparents, you know, to help her raise our kids, you know. It's just a blessing. It's just a blessing, but I just want to acknowledge her as well as acknowledge the grandparents, because they hope my son as well as her sister become the man as well as woman that they are, you know. Just a blessing.
Yeah, Jeremiah, man. Jeremiah was a real funny dude, man. I remember when I got the fountain. See, I knew Jeremiah when I was a little boy, a young boy, because Jeremiah was going with one of my aunties, one of my mom's sisters. But when I got the fountain, I ran across Deucey again, and I got there. He was like broadcasting to the whole camp, like I was a savior or something. Like, yeah, my nephew here. Y'all talk that noise now. He gonna Mike Tyson one of y'all. And I'm like, hold up, Deucey, man. Hold up, man. What you talking about, man? What you got going on, man? No, I'm letting know. You gonna put them hands on if anybody bother me. I'm like, man, hold up, man. I come here to do my time, you know. And Jeremiah, you know, he was glad to see me because, you know, I was like protective custody to Jeremiah. But then Jeremiah had so much crazy stuff going on I had to get away from Jeremiah because I was trying to get out of prison. And Jeremiah had a way of motivating me, and I didn't even know he motivated me because I used to be outside hitting the bag, the punching bag and everything. Jeremiah was like, man, you got plenty of time to hit that bag. Well, you got that life sentence, you got plenty of time to hit that bag. And saying that alone, I went to thinking about my own freedom. I had to get in the law library, trying to get the life sentence up off me. And Jeremiah motivated me, not knowing he motivated me. And then once I got out, I ran across Jeremiah again. Every time I didn't know who he was, he'd ride past me at this Suburban with rims and beats in it, and like, who the hell is that? Keep honking the horn at me. So one day he stopped, got out looking like the mob boss. And I'm like, man, what you got going on, Deuce? I know you ain't in the streets. He's like, no, I just work. I work. And I'm like, he said, you need a job? I said, yeah, I need a job. And he got me the job that I got now, man. I've been on the job faithfully. Thank you, Jeremiah. Yeah, that's a good brother. He's a retarded brother, but but he's a good brother.
So when you was locked up, a lot of deaths happened, and you wasn't able to get or make it to the funerals. Tell me what was going through your mind and how you felt during that time.
Well, my grandmother passed in 95. I was in Atmore prison. My mother passed in 2004. I was there in Limestone prison, but it's a funny thing, my mother and I had already discussed the passing before she passed. We talked about this before I was incarcerated again, so it wasn't all that bad on me because her and I had discussed it. I also was incarcerated when my sister as well as my brother, my brother passed in 2013. I was headed back to prison. My sister, Peggy, she passed in 2015, so it's been me being incarcerated when all these deaths had occurred, and it was somewhat stressful and somewhat not. But it's just a part of life when you choose the roads that you choose. But other than that, it's like I say, once again, it's been up here since I've been home. It's been a blessing.
So you are the mother of Jeremiah's 2 kids, right?
Yes, I am.
So tell us, when Jeremiah first went to prison and leaving you and your 2 kids behind, how did that make you feel, and what went through your mind at that time while he was gone?
Well, when Jeremiah first left, I can't remember how old I was or how old we were, but at that present time, I was really angry. I was angry, I was hurt, I was disappointed. I really didn't know what to do without Jeremiah being there for me and our 2 kids. But I just thank God for my grandparents and my father that was there for us. They helped me raise my 2 children, and also my father was there. But back to Jeremiah right now. I wish that he was really there, because his son, most of all, his son really needed him. I'm not saying that my son didn't have men figures in his life, because he did. He had my grandfather, which is Eddie Nichols, and he also had my father, which is Andrew Nichols. But I don't think it would have been the same if his father had been there, to teach him, about, women's and playing ball and, different things like that, what a father would do for a son. And as for our daughter, Serena, she was mostly like a daddy's girl. she loved her dad, and my son loved his father also too. But you know, people go through things in life, and sometimes we take the wrong road in life, you know. And I'm not saying that he left us intentionally, because I don't think that was his intentions to do. But you know, some people just, you know, we just choose a different path in life. But just thank God that he's still here and I'm still here, and our kids, you know, are here with us, and we have, you know, beautiful grandkids. And I just thank God for my children's father, and I just thank God for the kids that we have, you know, that God gave us, and the grand.
I can recall a time, I don't know if my dad, you know, kind of remember this. It kind of, you know, hurt me. I was getting off the school bus one day, and you know, I always heard, you know, that my dad was on drugs or whatever, but I still loved him. And we was walking home one day from school, and my dad passed by in the car, and I seen him, you know, put a needle, you know, I guess he was about to, you know, shoot up drugs or whatever, but you know, my dad, I still love him. And like I told him, I never hated him for going to prison, because it was something he was going through. And I just wanted him to know that, like, you know, when he came home, I told him, like, I don't hold no grudges against you. I love you. I always did. You know, but even though he went out, you know, I still made it. And I thank God, you know, for him and my mom. You know, I just want to get on here and say my piece, you know. When they first born, you know. And that's my story, y'all.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Deucey, man. I've been knowing Jeremiah since I was a young boy. Jeremiah was dating one of my aunties, one of my mama's sisters and everything, and I've been knowing Jeremiah since I was young. But then Jeremiah disappeared off the scene. I didn't know where Jeremiah went. Then I seen Jeremiah a few years later when I was in the streets. And after that, he disappeared again. Then shortly I ran into Jeremiah when I entered the penitentiary. I think we was down at Fountain together, working on the farm squad. And Jeremiah woke me up one morning like, man, come on, man, give this man time to check out. I said, Deuce, I ain't going today, man. I ain't feeling that, man. Too hot. I ain't picking them OP. Jeremiah say, man, come on, man, you gonna get in trouble, man. I said, man, I don't give a damn about no damn trouble. You know, you gonna get it right up. I said, the Life City was the biggest write-up they can ever give me. So anyway, long story short, I wouldn't go. So you had a couple of COs, they tried to snatch me off the rack and make me check out, and I got to fighting with them. It was two of them at first I was handling, then the third one jumped in. I went to town on him. But when Forward came in, man, I was giving out of gas. Jeremiah jumped in and tried to help me. And by the time Bag Up came, man, they beat Jeremiah so bad. I mean, they did him bad. They gave him one of those civil rights movement ass whooping. And I felt bad after that, man. Because I got Deucey jammed up trying to help me. And, man, and I ain't seen Deucey no more until I got out.
So, both of y'all growing up in Mobile Terrace, which is in Mobile, Alabama, down in the neighborhood they call Cadillac Park, right?
Right.
Exactly.
So, the house that y'all stayed in was right across the street from each other.
Right.
Tell me, how did y'all meet?
Well,
And how did y'all kids get conceived in this world?
Well, well, son, I'm gonna tell you like this. When I was a young girl, I was moving from down the bay, because my mom passed when I was young, and so my grandparents raised me and my twin brother James, and Jeremiah was living across the street from my grandparents, and he used to come over every day, ask me to be his girlfriend. So I was like, I'll let you know tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow. So every time he asked me,
said I was going, you were dealing with Captain Hawkins.
with that too, yeah. And I said, no, you got a girlfriend. You go to the girl that Captain Hawkins. He said like, oh, I let her go any day for you. And so I said, okay. I said, I'll let you know. So every day he asked me to be his girlfriend, and then so one day I just got tired of him asking. So I said, yeah, I'll be your girlfriend. So we started, dating or whatever. And so Jeremiah, how did we come by getting our son?
Granddaddy said, Jeremiah used to sneak through the window. Did you used to sneak Jeremiah through the window?
Yes, I did. I can't sit up here and say I didn't, because I did. And I did. He come through the window every other night. Yeah, he did.
Mr. Adams, what is your take on that?
Mr. Buster used to tell me, he said, hey, if you gonna be over there, you got to pay some rent. So I said, ain't no pipes up under the house and no running water there. What I'm paying the rent for? He said, you still find a reason to be over there. I used to jump the fence. I leave Papa Jeff's shop. I used to jump the fence. I wait over there in Mr. Turner Field and look over there and see where Dad was, because normally on the front porch, waiting to see them go in the house over there. They're trying to catch me over there. And I would jump the fence, and leave that. She would leave. She'd go across the street in the morning to see her. That's about it. That's where you can see your granddad, your grandma at. And she'll go over there. Sometimes she'll, like she's stretching and throw her hand in when everybody was in the house, and I'd go out the back door, pull up with a rank or something with the door shut, and go and hit the back fence and go around Roosevelt and come through James Moody yard and Mr. Joe Washington yard and come back down to her mama's house, But yeah, that was
Them was the days.
It was some experiencing days, fun days, and trying to understand, why you feel the way you feel, being in love, I didn't know it supposed to feel that way, I didn't know it supposed to hurt, like I had said earlier, I was, whatever she felt negative toward me leaving, she had reason to feel that way, and I had no harsh feelings within because how she felt. I'm sorry that she had to go through that. As I said earlier, I left her with the bag, which was the two children, to provide and try to figure out, which way to turn, and Miss Jenny and Mr. Buster, they helped her out quite a bit,
Do y'all remember when my sister Serena, do y'all remember when the night y'all conceived her?
Yes, I do. We conceived Serena at one of my good friends, Dana, Mac house. We was down there. We used to always go down there and chill out, and you thinking we grown and doing grown people things, and one thing led to another, and I got pregnant with Serena.
Good evening. So I met Mr. Jeremiah Adams, and during my time of knowing him and he knowing me, we went to church service together, and I saw a whole different man from the time that him and I met. And what I know now, he's a better man in society, and he's also giving back to society. I see him a lot, and we communicate, and he's still on the right track. And I thank God for Mr. Jeremiah Adams, and hope we can get more people like him in the world. Stay safe. Have a blessed day.
So back to the when I said I seen you with a syringe in your hand. I didn't know if you shot the drug up or not. I just seen the syringe in your hand. So for the let the world know what happened.
No, I never shot no drugs. Don't ever take the time to call it T's and blues. A lot of folks call them tennis shoes and blue jeans. I may have had an individual in the car with me that shot dope. You know, I used to smoke dope. You know, Mike was getting the syringe out the bag for him, and I had it in the pants to him so he could fix him a workup probably. But that was my son got. He got that confused about it. But no, I never shot no dope. I was for whoever that individual was. I can't even recall who it was. It's so long ago. But no, I never shot no dope.
All right. Before we get out of here, is there anything you want to do? Any closing remarks?
Yes, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to my story. I hope my story have enlightened someone to help them along the way where they won't have to choose the path that I have. And overall, God is good.